We're chipping away at Bethesda's enormous update to the Creation Club, one creation at a time. Up next is the Holiday Workshop Pack. Santa knows who's been naughty and who's been nice. In fact, he's kept a running list for the past 200 years and stocked plenty of gifts for all the Commonwealth. Find his creative goodies and unpack new clothing, weapon, and armor skins, and over 60 workshop items to keep your settlement and its inhabitants dressed for the holiday season. Created by Rob Vogel, Fading Signal. The Holiday Workshop Pack is going for 700 credits. But is it worth it? Let's find out. When we next arrive in the Commonwealth, we start the quest, Holiday Spirits. Investigate the help request in Diamond City. Someone in Diamond City is looking for assistance. I should see if I can help. Arriving at Diamond City, we find a new note posted on the town's wanted bounty board. Toy collection seeking help. In preparation for the holidays, I've started collecting whatever gifts I can for the children here in Diamond City. Time flies and it's a lot of work to find any toys that aren't ruined. Someone told me there were some shipments of pre-war toys and Christmas decorations still lying around near Fallon's department store, the big one, near Milton General Hospital. It's too dangerous for an old man like me to leave the city, so I need some assistance. If you're reading this and would like to help, head to Fallons and see what you can find. The children and I would sure be grateful. Return whatever you can find to the toy collection drop-off inside the schoolhouse. Regards, Mr. Zwicki. Good old Mr. Zwicki, looking out for the kiddos of Diamond City. Hope he and Miss Edna are happy. Looks like this elderly fellow needs someone who's been cryogenically frozen for over 200 years to go on a supply run. So, heading on over to Fallon's, we can clear the area of super mutants, which is always a blast. And once clear, we can head towards Fallon's, but we don't have to enter Fallon's. The quest marker sends us behind Fallon's department store. When we round to the back, we find a garage. And then... What? Oh no, Rudolph? Oh, we killed Rudolph. And he was wearing some dog deer antlers. I think I know a dog who might like those. Heading inside the garage, we see that the ghoul who attacked us was Raymond, and he's wearing a 200-year-old Christmas outfit. Can't imagine what this must smell like being worn by a ghoul for 200 years. We can also loot his Santa hat and Raymond's journal. The journal is a holotape, but not a voiced one, so loading it up in our Pip-Boy, we find 5 diary entries, stretching all the way back to 2077. October 22nd, 2077, the day before the apocalypse. I called them all today to ask when I could start working my Santa gig. They gave me the runaround, said they weren't gonna have a Santa at all this year, but they'd call me if they need me. What a bunch of crap. I called Tommy and he said the real reason they didn't want to hire me was because I always smelled like whiskey, and that I took this whole Santa thing a bit too seriously. I've been the #1 rated mall Santa in the Commonwealth 3 years in a row. You know why? It's my dedication. People don't come to see Santa, they come to see me. I've been training all these years. I'm gonna march down there in full costume tomorrow and give them a piece of my mind. Remind them why I'm the best. So Raymond is a 200-year-old mall Santa? That's great. How did he last that long? In the next one, October 23rd, 2077, holy crap, they actually did it. They dropped the big one. I came down here to lay into the office manager about firing me from my Santa gig, but just as things were getting good, warnings came over the radio and the whole place starts shaking. I shoved everyone out of the way and locked myself in some kind of concrete storage room. I keep hearing commotion outside, but I'm not moving a muscle until I know it's safe. In the next one, December 14th, 2077, it's been almost 2 months since everything fell apart. I've been surviving off of leftover bits of food here in the mall and laying low. I must have gotten hit with some radiation because I've developed some kind of rash that's getting worse and worse. Hands are starting to look like cooked meat. The weird thing is, I feel great. Better than ever. Some idiot tried to break in here to steal some food, but I bashed his head in with a plastic candy cane. I can't trust anyone anymore, and I mean anyone. This building is practically a fortress, so I'm staying put. Santa's workshop is what I'm calling it. Christmas is almost here. I can feel the joy in the air. I suppose this explains why he attacked us on sight. He's territorial. This is his department store. He's Santa. Christmas is all about him. In the next one, December 20th, 2184. How the hell have I lived so long? It must be destiny. It's been 107 years of Christmas. I am truly the one and only immortal Santa Claus. The poor guy. He's got a few screws loose by now. This has been one epic 107-year-long roleplay on his part. And in the final one, October 12th, 2287, super mutants just took over Fallons. I normally shoot anyone who wanders through those doors, or stick my boy Rudolph on them, but I know better than to fight those things. I've had to move out into the loading dock behind the building and hope they eventually leave. A garage is no place for Santa Claus. Santa needs his workshop back. I need a plan. So the super mutants pushed him out of Fallon's. Surprised they never found him in this open garage in the back, though maybe he opened the garage door recently. But we still need to find Christmas toys. Exploring our surroundings, we see an end of dungeon steamer trunk to the left, and inside we find a shipment of decorations, a shipment of toys, and Picket Fences Holiday Special. You've collected an issue of Picket Fences. You are now able to build Christmas settlement decorations, weapon, and armor paints. Ooh, we just unlocked the mother lode. We also find 10 dog deer antlers, 10 dog Santa hats, 10 regular Santa hats, 10 sexy Santa hats, 10 Santa costumes, and 10 sexy Santa costumes. Oh, great. We find a few props, likely from the decoration set on display here. A glowing Santa Claus, a glowing candy cane, some lights, a nutcracker, a little Christmas tree. Lots of good stuff in here. Well, first we gotta return these gifts and decorations. So, giving one last farewell to Rudolph, we can head back to Diamond City and enter the schoolhouse. Here we find a big bin. Diamond City Toy Collection drop-off. Activating the bin, we drop the packages and complete the quest, Holiday Spirits. Now to see what we've got. Heading back to our armor bench, we can modify both the Santa costume and the sexy Santa costume. And thankfully, both of them accept Ballistic Weave. Without Ballistic Weave, they grant us +2 to Endurance, but with Mark V of Ballistic Weave, we get the +2 to Endurance and 110 Ballistic and 110 Energy Resistance, making both versions of the costume viable for a non-power armor playthrough. But sadly, neither of the hats show up in the armor workbench. So even though we can add Ballistic Weave to trilbies and fedoras and other hats, we can't add Ballistic Weave to the Santa hat. So if we really wanted to roleplay a non-power armor wearing ex-mall Santa, we'd likely have to wear another hat with the outfit, which kind of defeats the purpose. So I'm a bit bummed that the Santa hat can't be imbued with Ballistic Weave. The Santa costume looks exactly like we'd expect. The regular Santa hat is conical and large, and the Santa costume is great. Left arm rolled up to accommodate the Pip-Boy, and covered in dirt and grease and the grime of ages, almost as if a ghoul has been wearing it for 200 years. But the quality looks amazing. The sexy version looks the same on both male and female soul survivors. It comes with boots and candy cane stockings. Then it's got a little short mini skirt, and the sexy Santa hat, it's just smaller. The fold of the cone is a little different on the sexy version too. Now to test out the workshop pack, I went to the slog, a nice flat area to build a little holiday corner. We find the holiday bundle in the Creation Club menu of the workshop. It's buried beneath what appears to be an unnecessary submenu, almost as if they plan to add more to their Christmas offerings as the years go on. So for this year, we need to choose the Santa statue, and we find quite a lot of stuff. We'll start by choosing the Christmas tree. This opens up decorations. Here we find a ceramic Christmas tree light. Many of the decorations we'll find here are powered. I'll show what these all look like lit in a little bit. Then we get 2 fireplaces, both of which are made of brick and both have logs burning. One has a concrete mantle and the other has a red brick mantle. Then we find a wood-burning stove, complete with chimney, which will look great in those sanctuary homes. We've got a little gingerbread house, and then 2 different makeshift scrap trees, which I think are brilliant. These trees are made out of rebar, with colorful paint at the end of each bar. The left tree is a larger tree, and the right tree is a shorter tree, and we'll be able to decorate these in just a minute. Next, we've got quite a selection of nutcrackers for a table, a nutcracker with a spear, one with a drum, a blue one with a Christmas gift in his hand, and a red one with a sword. Then there's a plastic candle lamp. We need to set this next to some sort of ambient power source. A plastic candy cane lamp, a plastic gingerbread man. This does also glow. A plastic nutcracker lamp, a plastic Santa Claus lamp, a plastic Santa sleigh. This is huge. And then a plate of glowing candles. We get 2 lamps. These look like those paper mache fireworks stars that we see in malls all the time. One's an upside down star and the next looks like a 8-pointed star. And then finally we get a straw goat. That's it for decorations. The next category is wall decorations. Here we find 2 different wreaths, one that's plain and one that has lights in it. The one with lights needs to be placed next to an ambient power source. Then we've got stockings, and each of these stockings snaps to the fireplace mantle. There's a red one with stars, a red one with snowflakes, a blue one with dots, a blue one with snowflakes, a solid blue one, a red one with dots, a green one, and a solid red one. The fact that they snap to the mantle is amazing attention to detail. Then we've got strings of lights. I'll string them over here. Since they are lights, we have to place them near to a power source. There's a large string, a medium string, and a small string. Then we've got strings of glowing cutouts, a string of candy canes, a string of gingerbread men, a string of Christmas trees, a string of snowflakes, a string of snowmen, and finally a string of stars. That's it for wall decorations. The next category is ornaments. Here we find dozens of teeny tiny ornaments, some of which glow if we place them next to power, all of which snap to the branches of the rebar Christmas trees. Each bar of the Christmas tree has a bunch of snapping spots on it, so you can fill both trees up with as many of these ornaments as you want, as long as you have the glass and steel. Then there are 3 tree toppers, a star tree topper, and 2 Vault-Tec tree toppers, a Vault Boy and a Vault Girl. I ran out of trees, so I put the Vault Girl on the mantle. Finally, the last section is presents. And they don't give you just 3 presents. No, they give you dozens and dozens of presents. Boxy presents, flat presents, round presents, and a variety of colors and lots of different wrapping paper options. Now, to show off what these look like at night. But we're not even done yet. There are, of course, the dog hats, the Santa hat, and the reindeer antlers for dog meat, or the junkyard dogs we can buy in the game. Then there are the new armor paints. There are 2 armor paints. The Santa armor paint, which looks very different from suit to suit. I love how it looks on the metal armor, turning someone wearing metal armor into a bit of a gingerbread man. And the next paint scheme is the snow paint scheme, which is just a light blue and white snowflake motif. Then there are the weapon paints. We get 2 of them. The first is called the Christmas paint instead of the Santa paint, and that's because this paint scheme is just bits and pieces of Christmas present wrapping paper taped to the weapons, which I thought was really creative and clever. And the final one is the snow weapon paint scheme, which, like the armor, is blue with white snowflakes. And that's it for the Holiday Workshop Pack. So, was it worth it? Well, as always, at $7, I do think this creation is overpriced, but it's really hard to gauge the value of this one because I think it really depends on how much enjoyment you're going to be getting out of the new workshop items. This creation was done extremely well. I'm really impressed by the quality. It all worked. There wasn't anything that was broken, and there were a lot of wonderful convenient things that Fading Signal made sure to look out for, like snapping the stockings to the mantle and snapping the ornaments to the rebar Christmas trees, that made this just a joy to work with. I had so much fun sitting here designing my little Christmas display. To me, this is almost the definitive Christmas creation. We get everything. Not only do we get the workshop pack, but 2 armor skins, 2 weapon skins, 2 costumes, and even dog outfits. And to top it all off, we get a quest. It's a short quest, but it was thematic, it was funny, it made sense in the world. I loved it. So yeah, big thumbs up from me on this one. Now there are a few more creations that are so small I don't think they deserve their own video, so I'm going to tag them onto the end of this one. The first is the Faction Fashion Armor Skin Bundle. They say people wear their heart on their sleeves and their faction everywhere else. Do they say that? Choose from the Children of Adam, the Enclave, Riley's Rangers, Tunnel Snakes, and Pikmin armor skins, and rep a group beyond the traditional Wasteland factions. Together, they're worth 500 credits, assuming each one goes for 100 credits a pop, but the bundle only costs 400. Here's what they look like, and I'm impressed by the quality. Next is the Faction Fashion Weapons Skin Bundle with exactly the same description as the armor bundle and for the same price, 400 credits. Here's what each one looks like on all of the weapons. And finally, there's the Variety Pack Pip-Boy Bundle. Give your Pip-Boy a splash of color with the Variety Bundle. Brighten it up with the Pop, Phenol Resin, and Neon Sunrise paint, or mix in a taste of the outdoors with the Hawaii and Haida skins. Declare your allegiance with the 5-star red, or go for a ride with the classic Corvega. Together are 450 worth credits. Whoops. I think together are worth 450 credits. But the bundle is going for 300. So here's what each of the new Pip-Boy skins looks like. And there you go, that's all the new Creation Club items. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I have a new shirt in the shop, graduate of Oxhorn's driving school. A nod to our LA Noir series, this design comes on shirts in a variety of men's, women's, and children's sizes, and in a wide array of colors. You can find it on other items as well, like smartphone cases, pillows, posters, mugs, prints, etc. So if interested, you can find a link to my shop in the description below, or you can click here. If you like what I do and you want to support me in a more personal way, consider becoming a patron on Patreon or a subscriber here on YouTube. But more importantly, I'm just so glad you're here watching this video with me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another brand new video.